Well, good morning. Last time we left off, we found ourselves in Aughare, and we also picked up a quest from Aragorn to talk to Cornir. This is an older epic quest, but we're going to do it before we continue the current one. At least we're going to do it up to a certain point, which, like I said, will make sense once we get it done. I just need to find Cornir. Oh, and if anybody ever wondered where the reflecting pool was in Aughare, there it is. And of course, those are used to be able to redo instances, especially if, say, you wanted to help a friend with an instance and you've done it and they haven't. All right, are you Cornier? Yes, you are. So we want Book 6, Chapter 2, Against His Lord.
What do you need?
Who are you? Nay, it matters not. All that matters is that you have come. Matters are grave, and we have need of any assistance we can muster. These good people are beset on all sides by the tyrants of Angmar, who now gather a mighty army to march south and crush the elves in Gondar between their hammer and the anvil of Mordor. Time grows short, and we must act quickly if we are to hinder the shadow of Angmar. Perhaps I should tell you somewhat of our long story. When we first came into Aughare, the hillmen were suspicious of us, but not overly hostile. Galadir quickly earned their respect, for he was a great captain among us and was able to inspire the heart. We learned that the hillmen were under the oppression of a remnant of Angmar that had returned to Carndum from over the Misty Mountains. But worse, a sorcerer, much likened to the Witch King of old, had also come to the evil city. The hillmen call this sorcerer the False King, for they know well that the Witch King himself could never return to Angmar. Galadir determined that the steward of Angmar had to be stopped before he could gather strength in the north. He gathered together as many of the hillmen as would follow him, and journeyed east with the rest of our companions, believing that Angmar was not yet strong enough to withstand a united front. I was left behind to take word to Esteldin in the event the expedition failed, which it did. Do you wish to hear more?
What do you need?
So you would know how this tragedy came to be. In truth, I know not. I do not know whether it was through some machination of the false king, or whether it was purely by evil chance. But our march was brought to an abrupt end. As we marched east, we found ourselves confronted by a vale filled with terrible statues. Ramus Delawan, the hillman called it. That some spirit of evil vigilance abode in the stones, there was no doubt, for we could all feel the oppression of them. It was here that Galadir bade me remain. As the host passed through the stones, it became clear why the hillmen feared the valley so. When the last few men crossed Ramus Delawan, the watching stones threw forth a terrible malaise of oppression, such that those men caught within it were stricken dead by the weight of it upon their hearts. I tried to pass the stones, but could not. Galadir bid me to remain, and so I did. Days turned into months, then years, and still Galadir did not return. I knew I should have returned at once to Esteldin, but I could not abandon my captain. I tried vainly to cross Ramas Delawan until my very spirit was broken within me. Alas, I sent message to Esteldin, which brought you hither. We must learn the secret of Ramas Delawan Madril. Perhaps one of the many lesser stones which litter this land, especially near the camps of the Angmar and Hillmen, will reveal that secret. Go to one of the lesser watching stones and take a rubbing of the runes found upon its base. Beware the fell and deadly stones, for they have too terrible a power. So we need to go take a rubbing from a stone. I have collected the blank parchment. Okay. Where am I? You would think in such small a place I would not have to ask that question, but I do. And it looks like he might be the same person we talked to for the other quest, too. Okay, so there is... Now, if we were going to be doing the side quest, we would have to talk to that guy over there. But as we're not going to be doing them, we're not going to bother. Because I kind of want to see... Like I said, there is some story later on that I want to see if it's going to be affected by whether or not I do the series of side quests here. Because, surprisingly enough, that instance with LOTRO was changed because I had not done this in advance. Angmar. A very dark and desperate place. It is clear that war rages here and that there is evil at every turn. I love it. It's great. And of course, because we are way over level, we don't have to worry about aggroing stuff. There would be some quest here after we finish the side quest that we're not doing. And we will probably come back and do those quests after the point in which I figure out whether or not doing them affects things. I know. That just totally did not make sense. Well, hello, random person. I hope you're having fun. She's high level too. Alright, so we've collected the rubbing. And we can bring that to Cornier. And these are the watching stones. Very creepy looking. Of course, this whole place is very creepy looking. What am I saying? Spot I want to go to. I am down here. There's a pair. Go that way. That it. No, it's not what I'm looking for, but while we're here, I see our orc. Excuse me. Could you die? Oh, there we go. For the gray hammers, you cries, you defeat your foe. Now we need one in the Shire, because of course we do. Now we need the one in the Shire. Long after we've been there. And in Esteldin. Look at this place. So that's part of Ramdua. All the cave claws in there. Oh, and we'll grab that while we look at the map. Ah, here's what I was looking for. New deed, discover the halls of night. Deed completed. Discover the halls of night. That is probably one of the fastest and easiest 5 LOTRO points you can ever get in the game. Because that's the whole thing. Actually, no, it's not even 5, it's 10 LOTRO points. You get 10 LOTRO points for standing in front of that spot. I love the sky. It's so creepy. Like I said, this is definitely... I love the beautiful places of Middle-earth, but this... There's just something about this and Moria and... Ah. Okay.
What do you need?
You have returned. Did you bring the rubbing? Good. Let me see it.
What do you need?
These runes are of an elvish mode, but the language is the black speech, in which I am not well versed. But I do know a little and can see that these runes speak of a heart located within the stone. Perhaps if I could study one of the stone hearts, a way to undo the spell upon them can be found. There are some lifeless stones east of here from which you may collect such a heart without fear. Bring me a stone heart as quickly as you may so that we may be done with our duty. Right, so back out into the world we go. And I happen to know exactly where he wants me to go. Well, close to exactly. I know the general area. I don't always remember which statues have the heart I'm looking for. And if you were doing this at level, this would be quite the adventure. Of course, we're not. We're way over leveled for this, which is going to make the search a lot easier. I'm keeping my eye peeled for a red dot because there is a roving threat that occasionally shows up here. Not one we particularly want to run into. Although, I don't know, the last time we ran into one, it was fun running away from it, too. Right. We got that. Back to what we were actually doing. And while we're out here, I do believe I don't think there's a stable. There's a spot. It's part of the deed. I'm trying to think of the name of it. I think it's called the Road to War. So we are heading out into the Western Mountainhead. And the Western Mountainhead is a very interesting place. It's very dry. It's got these natural hot pools. Has a variety of creatures, including these sickle flies, some neeker type creatures, some flame worms, goblins, swamp lurkers, an Angmar fortress over that way. Always fun to do the side quests in there. Apparently there are some issues with the questing or the crafting right now. Apparently somebody says, did they remove Cook Guild repass recipes? No, the repasts are still there on the tiers they used to be. But you won't get the opening faction rep if you're not the right vocation. And so it's bugged now, essentially. So this is one of the spots you want to pass, and you will pass it if you're doing all the side quests. Because this will take you here, and there are quests here to do. Quite a number of quests here, actually. These turtles can be rather fun to fight. They're elite. Of course, they're not nearly as big or scary as they used to be. Wonder if Big Mommy's up. There's a big turtle that you can find roaming around here, and it's actually no joke. See Mommy up. Okay. Doesn't mean we won't run into her. Just means I don't see her. So we need to head. We're very close to our destination. We need to head over here. And these are the statues he's talking about. We don't want to go near the big ones. We are looking for these little ones. Examine the watching stone carefully, but can see no sign of the horde near sent you in search of. And there are several of these. Like I said, I can never remember exactly which ones that contain the part we're looking for. You examine the watching stone closely and discover through a crack in the stonework a strange dark rock. As you pick up the rock, you experience a brief feeling of uneasiness, but it passes quickly. Okay, we actually found one relatively fast. I'm surprised. Now, before we go back, here's Malin Had. We go this way, not that way. I'd like not to die. Thanks. We go this way, and there's a lot of dwarf iron here. We'll find some other critters that live here. Ah, there they are. Garthog brutes. I made them tiny. That is tiny for a troll. But, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I could have sworn they used to be bigger. Oh well. That's kind of disappointing. Always hated it when they nerfed the trolls. They did that to the trolls in the troll shaws. They did it to the trolls in Moria and just made them too easy. They were, they used to be a lot of fun because you really had to challenge yourself to defeat one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made those smaller. So we head back this way into the dark. Whoa. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Okay, so back or near. Excuse me, I have found the rock you were looking for.
Greetings.
This does appear to be such a stone as the runes described, but it is of little use. The heart is cracked.
What do you need?
It is a pity that this heart is broken, but there may yet be another path open to us. While you're away, some of the villagers returned from a hunting expedition and told of a ritual being performed at Tor Gelvin, a fortress in the northeast, east of a place called LOTRO. The ritual appears to be related to whatever spell is cast upon these stones to grant them such power, and the sorcerer who is performing the ritual bears with him a stone heart. If you can interrupt the ritual and slay Taith, you may be able to recover the stone heart from him. Go quickly, for he's preparing yet another watching stone. You may not get another chance. Alright, so I think we will be doing that next time. And until then, bye for now.